I recently sat down with Matthieu Bonelli, founder of Conscious Leaders Dubai and part of the team bringing Singularity's executive program to the Middle East. We talked about the myth of leadership, the control, the ego, and the illusion of doing the work without ever actually changing. Matthieu believes we don't need more leaders, we need more conscious ones. So when I had the opportunity to sit down with him, I wanted to know, what does that actually mean and what does that actually look like? We hear the term conscious leadership a lot, but I'll be honest, I don't think most people really know what a conscious leader looks like in practice. Tell me, what do they actually do differently?
All right, so I want to first define the word leader because I feel like everyone is putting it on a business term, the leader of a team, the leader of a company, but I want to focus also on the self-leadership part. You are a leader because everything you do every day is bringing you to the place you want to go to, right? So now the consciousness comes from doing this as a leader, but understanding your thoughts, understanding your emotions, understanding how your actions get you forward or backwards, and how you can impact with just being you. You can impact the others, you can impact the business, you can impact your friends, your colleagues, and everyone around you, right? So it really goes together. And I want to put that as an opposition to, of course, unconscious leadership, which means clearly to me being on autopilot.
Right.
You just go through the motions and the things come to you and you're only reactive to things. So the proactivity also is part of conscious leadership.
So you're saying that as a leader, we lead ourselves first, right? And then we can lead others? Is that what I'm understanding correctly?
Yes, and that's really one thing I want to emphasize is there are so many instances where the leader is brought to an existing business with an existing team and has to kind of like blend into what exists, but might not be his style. I'm really pushing for the leader to be himself fully. That's your authentic
or themselves.
Leadership, or themselves, exactly. Authentic leadership, right? It is, this is who I am, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to bring, and making sure that matches with the rest, right? As opposed to trying to fit a specific, leadership style in a business book, right?
Right. What's something people think makes them a good leader, but actually makes them terrible?
That's a very cool one. So,
because it's hard, like leadership, a lot of people, we know that even like a manager, it's like, oh, they think they're incredible at what they do when they're leading a team, but their team doesn't think that they're great.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think the role of a leader is mostly twofold. It's making decisions and it's empowering your team. And while the empowerment of your team doesn't happen a lot because you're working on the business and you are firefighting and all of that, but also the decision making. I think one of the misconceptions is I need to make as many decisions as possible in order for the business to progress and to be successful. Because it feels like if I make only one decision per day, then we're not advancing fast enough. Competition will catch up and etc. It is Jeff Bezos who said that his day is about making one or two good decisions. And once he does that, his job is done. The rest is a plus, or he goes home and does something else.
Right.
Because it is that ability to make the right decision, to get the right space, to get the right knowledge, the right insights that will make you make the right decision, which will support the long-term and sustainable growth of your company. So definitely make less decisions, make better ones, considering everything and everyone, and not just half-assing to the next decision.
Absolutely, yeah. Quality decisions is needed. So you've said that people want a magic pill, whether it comes to business, fitness, or even love. The problem is that they confuse watching content with doing the work. So what does doing the work actually look like?
So taking the magic pill is effortless, right? Pay in exchange of a solution. Pay in exchange of losing weight. Pay in exchange of building muscles. Pay in exchange of, releasing your traumas. It seems like today you have all of these coaching industry that is just like fast results, minimal effort, just subscribe here, you know? But the reality is we're bombarded from content. I'm not going to teach you anything. You know, when I use the quote of Jeff Bezos, millions of people know about that quote, right? But having integrated that quote is what makes the difference. So it's about really consuming less and spending more time into, okay, I got those 3 points. Now stop with more fluff and more noise. Let's get into those points. I said that those points will be very important. How do I integrate them? And it's usually when you start to have some strategies and think about ways to, you know, change how you are. For example, last week we had a session, you know, with the Align group. All together, we talked about the saboteurs, the little voice in your head. And from that, I know I'm restless because I'm always doing something and I love what I do so much, you know, but there is a limit to it. So trying to do less and find more moments to step back and be bored, you know, not be on my phone when I'm not doing nothing, just like enjoy just the moment.
Absolutely.
Is an important thing. I could have just looked at, okay, those are my 5 saboteurs and, oh, and by the way, we finished the meeting and now I'm watching a YouTube video and all of that. And you just keep on going. No, now is the saboteurs. Now is the restless. We'll see the other saboteurs later. It's really take one thing, trying to implement it, take one thing, trying to implement it. Not talking about going 1 month over this, but just make it, you know, top of mind in your prefrontal cortex, you know?
Right. Yeah, it just reminds me that I think a lot of people save certain content of the like, oh, they watch a TikTok and they love it and they think, oh yeah, I need to really like do better at this. And then they'll save that content and they think that's enough, like, and they never revisit it. But then they, like you said, like they don't actually change their behavior for a different outcome.
Yeah.
And yeah, that's just
so instead of just the content is right now, the next question is how can I apply that? That was beautiful content. How can I just apply that right now? You know,
what change can I make?
Yeah, and simple. And if you don't see it, it's fine. But also you can revisit that, right?
Right.
So
I love that.
Step by step.
Absolutely. So moving to conscious leaders. So let's say 10 founders applied to join conscious leaders today. How would you figure out who's actually a good fit and who isn't, or who isn't ready for this type of work?
Oh, that's a great question. And I've been confronted to that. We had in 1st of July, the first, you know, group of 12 people. And even though I didn't know if it would be 12, I had said no to some people.
So who did you say no to? I don't want names.
No, of course not.
But I want to know, like, why did you say no?
So there's a few things. First of all, there is the ability to commit to something for a certain time period. As I said, it's not a magic pill. It's 12 weeks. It's going to be at some part uncomfortable. Now I remember the month of July, first month of the program. Some people were shaken up, you know? So you need to be able to show up. You need to be able to commit. You need to be there. You need to be ready to feel uncomfortable. And you need to have that growth mindset. Already I can see the red flags when I talk with the people. Yeah, I tried that, but this is not for me, or I don't want to do this, or this is too difficult, or this is just not me. I'm just this type of person. Those are, you know, words. When they say them, I'm just like, it's a shame. You need aligned. You need the program so much. But just me convincing you is not enough. You need to convince yourself that this is going to bring you the value. And if you're not ready, you just don't see it. And that's fine. We stay in touch.
Absolutely.
Come in next 3 months.
They may get to a point where they feel like the benefit's going to be there for them to put in the work, but they need to be committed to.
There also needs to be a certain pain in a way, right? You need to see something you want to remove or something clearly that you want to add to your life.
Right.
You know, feeling like you are the ceiling and you cannot grow anymore. Or you're like, oh my God, I've been stuck for so long. You know, like this is a very empowering emotion. And if you don't have the strong emotions about it, if it's just like, yeah, that's a program because I do some, And by the way, I'm committed to 5 other programs. You just 6 one. I'm just like, yeah, you're just not the right person.
Right. You're addicted to committing to programs.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
That's not the real work.
Exactly. If you're there for the, what is it called? Like the certificate that you get at the end. I'm sorry, there's no certificate.
Right.
There's no congratulation for being you and being more aligned.
Right.
It's an internal feeling. It transforms everything, but it's an internal feeling. It's not something you put on the wall, right?
That's interesting. So are there any conscious leaders, whether they're famous founders, CEOs, public figures, that you think more people should know about? Because I think that it helps to visually, see somebody in the real world that is conscious. Who's operating at a higher level?
Tough to say, because everything we see from those very influential people is through the lens of social media. It is all controlled information. So a lot of people say fantastic things. I can think of the Simon Sinek. I can think of Vishen Lakhiani, for example, whom I really look up to.
Right.
But I look up to a version of him who seems like a really conscious leader, really impact-driven. The person has like an aura and a presence that inspires you. And, I feel like he's embodying it, but I don't know him on a daily basis.
Right.
So is he actually like this? So, I would say examples like this, and trying to embody that person, or at least that ideal that we see. But of course, everyone is human, and there's also a different side.
Right.
So I don't actually focus so much on trying to be that person.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, that's not the point, is it? It's like you're meant to be you, like the best version of you. That's interesting.
So what it means is that you define the person you want to be, right? I want to get the traits that I see in Vishen Lakhiani. What are the traits? 1 to 5, this is what they are. This is how I work on this. This is what I want to do. For example, he's very eloquent. Well, me being on this podcast is a way for training, for getting my thoughts ready for all of those aspects that I want to develop, But that's not actually the Vishen Lakhiani. It's my idealized version. So it's actually my better self.
Right.
It's actually my future me that I'm, going towards.
If I was to attend one of the Conscious Leaders events, what's some practical activities that you do? I'm just kind of curious as to what that would look like.
Yeah. So there's nothing too fancy and spiritual, because I want the people to remain grounded, but I also want the people to be present. So in some of the events, most of the events, what we do is a bit of grounding, being there and breathing nice and slow and trying to put what's away from the day, what we have accumulated away, to be like, I'm here, and to really set an intention about, I'm here to genuinely connect with people. I'm not here to give business cards. I'm not here to impress people. I'm here because I'm me. I want to learn something from an expert that is going to talk in the session. And I'm here to just share, learn, grow together, connect. It just goes a long way when you're present. Absolutely. And, the eye gazing, the smile just goes naturally. And a lot of people say that it feels different. It's not a networking event. It's an event where we are like-minded people enjoying being together. And it's a subtle difference, but that makes such a big impact.
But there's so much intention that you're doing behind the scenes, and I think a lot of people don't realize how much work goes right into doing that.
And it starts by me being me. And it starts by not me trying to be in control of everything, not trying to moderate and be that. I'm just me. I made the mistakes. I'm myself. I laugh. I'm playing like a kid, make jokes.
Right.
That's, and then the people feel it. It's an energy thing. It's an energy exchange. Oh, here I can drop the mask of, I'm the HR director for this super big company. No, I'm just this person.
It's
human.
Cool.
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm just a human. It's a human to human interaction, which is the most basic thing.
It is the most basic, but I think we forget that because we're taught all these social constructs, right?
Yeah.
And you have to have a mask on.
Yes. Well, when you go to an event, you represent an identity, you have an agenda, you have all of those things. But we figured it out now. Someone coming and running to me with a business card, like not even asking for my name, not remembering anything. She's like, hey, can we connect on LinkedIn? Here's my business card. I'm not going to make business with you. You know, like, let's connect, let's talk. Who are you?
Right.
And who are you as not, I'm the HR, no, who are you? You
I
know?
think people struggle with that question,
Yes.
to be honest.
Oh my God.
It's a difficult one.
Yeah.
Because we never really spend the time to ask ourselves that.
Yeah, absolutely.
So you're building conscious leaders into more than just a coaching business. You're turning it into an entire ecosystem.
Correct.
What does that actually look like in practice? And why go that route versus just scaling one-to-ones or group programs?
Well, if I would do one-to-one programs and trying to scale that, that is me having a coaching business, which basically is limited by me. So the growth of conscious leadership as a movement would be, you know, only as big as Matthieu can spend 100% of his time and commitment to do this. And I strongly believe in the power and the synergies of all of the like-minded people working together. It's a noble cause. It's something we all need and the world needs so much of, right? Consciousness.
Well, that's what you told me is your greater mission was to raise the consciousness, you know, worldwide. You know,
Yes.
you've got a pretty big mission with that. So I can imagine, you know, one-to-one coaching
Yeah,
just
exactly.
with yourself is definitely not possible. And maybe the group program's the same, right? It's quite limited. So talk to me a bit more about then what does the ecosystem look like?
So I can tell you with the example of Aligned, the program.
That'd be
you
great.
know, 12 weeks, 12 people. But my role is just to be a fire starter. They join in. I'm actually a student there most of the time. You know, I'm learning as much. What I do is that I bring experts in their field. One about consciousness, one about mindset, leadership, performance, you know. All of those experts are coming. And then through the one-on-one sessions they do with the people, and then the integration sessions we do every week, then those people, those experts, bring the knowledge and the insights. And I just keep on activating this. You know, I just make sure that the people get the right insights, get the right integration, the epiphanies, the aha moments, you know. That's my job. So if now I can get more people like-minded, that I'm in touch with so many amazing people trying to figure out, you know, how all of the puzzle pieces connect, well, then we get a line that is much more powerful. Then we get the next programs that the people can take. And it's just really open, you know, to say, you're one person with one needs. This is all of this catalog of programs, but I'm going to guide you. I'll take you by the hands. Don't worry, you know, I'm curating everything. I'm making sure the people are like-minded. And we just grow as a group of conscious leaders who want to give and receive.
Right. So you've got 12 people in the Aligned, and then like talk me through how you go from 12 to raising the consciousness of millions of people, right?
Yeah. What is the ripple effect, right? Me impacting those 12 people. And if we just stay with those 12 people, there is in a line, there is a person, for example, she wants to help kids that have been sexually abused to resolve the trauma so they can actually grow and you know, be fulfilled in their life. Through that and through what she's doing, by the way, I'm going to empower her also with something she does for the next people of Aligned, which means she's already now an expert or a professional helping Aligned. But I know in her lifetime, she's going to help 1,000, 10,000 people. And now I'm already connecting her to someone that I've met last week who also used to work and had a podcast about sexual abuse and bringing that topic.
Right.
So
That's powerful.
This is what is happening. And I'm just being this connector, enabler. I'm just there. I just want to
facilitating this all to happen. And the ripple effect is powerful.
You know, like 1 to 12, then already 12 to 1,000 thanks to her. But look at the other 11 people. I'm also one of the 12. So the other 10 people will also do the same things. And then we keep on going and we keep on going. And the people stay after Aligned. They have the ability to become ambassadors. You cannot become an ambassador if you haven't done Aligned. Because I want the group to be aligned with the values, with the mindset, with the movement. And then the question goes back to them, how can you impact the other leaders in the world? in a better way. So it's we group together 12 and then 24 and then, you know.
Yeah, that's wonderful. All right, well, thank you so much for your
Thank
time.
you.